Well, it has just been 3 days since I last uploaded the first of this series, a story about transitioning from a rental house in town into this peaceful haven deep in the countryside. But in real sense, I was away for 2 weeks. Let me tell you why. When I first had this idea in my mind, I thought it was going to be easy. Most of you watched this video and encouraged me. Most of you told me, "Congratulations, Cynthia, you've made a very bold step." But little did I know that along the way, I will develop cold feet and back off. So it's been 2 weeks. You can see the grass has really grown and it's looking bushy since the last time we were here. Well, while I was away, I did some soul searching. I asked myself why I really wanted to start this journey in the first place, and being who I am, I found the answers to my questions. I realized that this is the kind of life I admire. This is why I've been moving across the country, just trying to benchmark and find out what other people did before they managed to move into their own pieces of land. And after doing a lot of soul searching, I found the answers, and that is why I came back. Look at how the bananas are looking. The last time I was here, I had just weeded them and they were looking fresh and lush. Today, they are all covered in weeds. But it's not a waste. I'm happy that they're still looking healthy, and I hope that moving forward, I'll be able to tend to them at a very close and tender range. It is amazing that I passed through the nursery again and bought some more flowers. Yet, in this wilderness, wildflowers thrive without anyone to tend to them. They just thrive in their own habitat, and I'm asking myself many questions. Is it necessary to try and alter this space in this manner that I'm trying to do? Or do I just let the natural flowers and plants continue growing and do their thing? Look, there are even bees on the wildflowers. Sometimes I'll retrospect and wonder if all this effort is necessary. I've been watching videos about other people in other countries, what they did when they wanted to start their lives in such a way. And I've come across the term permaculture. Maybe this is time for me to try out permaculture. Well, let me give you a little tour of the house. It is just this earthen house that I'm so proud of because I feel like it is a version of a house, a sustainable house that actually breathes. You know, earth is just what it is. It breathes. So I am proud of it. As much as it is not completed, it is a mess. This is part of the reason why I ran away, because I'm not very sure where I should start from. But, well, let me give you a little tour. That is where I store some of my tools. And then that little calabash you see, I was gifted by a neighbor. Those are my work shoes. Whenever I'm here, I get to put them on. And then I've stored a lot of firewood up on the rooftop, because sometimes when we go to the shamba, usually we cook here. And the firewood is usually very helpful. So that is the second room, and there's barely any light coming into the house because there's still no windows. So these are some of the crucial things that I've been thinking about, and I think it's time I devised a way on how I can address them. The door itself is also a very weak one, but I'm happy that this lock is functional. I'm actually the one who did attach this lock here. I bought it from a local hardware at 60 shillings, and so far it can lock the house, but it is not very secure. Anyway, secure from what? Because after all, the house is also insecure. Yeah. So I have a few accessories in this house. There's this resting chair, and The other reason why I developed cold feet is that there's a lot of animals and insects in this house. If you're away for just 3 days, when you come back, you find all sorts of crawling animals and insects. So these are some of the things that I need to address first by possibly clearing the compound, which is part of the reason why I came back today. I'm not just going to plant flowers, as much as that is an activity that gives me a lot of satisfaction and peace of mind. Today I want to clear the compound as much as I can. And this journey is going to be a lot of do-it-yourself with a lot of do-it-yourself mentality, because I do not want to spend a lot of money on this project. It has to be sustainable one way or the other. So I have to be the one running the show. Some of the plants I brought today are these ones here. I don't know them by name, but I just love the fact that some of them were looking variegated and nice. So along the way, I'd like to have a peaceful, flowery environment, because I know that the journey ahead is not going to be easy, but with flowers and a beautiful environment, I know that the journey is going to be worth it. So let's do this. Well, not all hope is lost, because there are some of the plants that I planted in the past, way before I started this series, that are doing very well. Like this pine and this aloe vera. The pine you've just seen I got from Uganda. Then these other ones I've got them from assorted friends whenever I visited, or from people that I went to visit when I was shooting videos about, sustainable living. And I hope you remember this hibiscus that we planted last time. It had just started blooming by the time I bought it. And look, it bloomed, it fell. This is interesting. This is just how life looks like. There are things that come to be and then they come to an end. So this is a very important symbol for me, especially on this day. And even as I continue working, I'm glad to appreciate what nature has to offer. Then there are these very beautiful orchids that I got from a friend also. And the neighbors around here are very skeptical about this. They just think it is what you'll call in an African setup black magic. But who cares? Who cares? Because a flower blooms for its own joy. So the misconceptions are just part of being in a village setup. But I think maybe pole pole, I'll tell them that there's nothing to worry about. It's just a flower. If you're someone who is also into plants, you'll understand that orchids are usually air plants. Like they do not need you to plant them on the soil, and they also do not need you to plant them on a surface. They just thrive in air as long as they get a bit of humidity and a bit of rain. So when I come, I usually spray them with water just maybe once in a week. But I hope that if I get to live here now, it will be I'll tend to them even in a better and a closer way. Well, the weather is fast changing. I love the fact that it is windy and calm. Just look at this. A bit of clouds, but uh, I have to finish the work that brought me here today. So I want to clear this bush. The process is a bit slow because I'm just using a machete. I'm hoping that I'll get a hand mowing machine so that I can clear this compound once and for all. And I think this is going to be my next move, because I don't think it is healthy living in a very bushy area like this. But what to do? This is what I've got today, and I'll use the bird that is at hand, which is better than two in the bush.